nonsense, but this is not what I meant. Prometheus is supposed to be good, but this is just cartoonish. In the original story he appeared in, he got stopped by Catwoman, for crying out loud. Yes, he's this powerful supervillain. Yes, he should be tough to take down. But this? And by the way, Prometheus, with all of his advanced technology and tactics designed specifically to defeat each member of the Justice League, or any other hero he comes against, does not, in fact, kill any of them. So why not kill them?
No, that would be cheating.
Yeah, no reason. Dear Lord, this sucks. Oh, this is great too. Prometheus stops Donna Troy and Green Arrow in a twofold of dumb. Donna Troy got crucified on a wall earlier in the fight, but got out of it despite immense pain and flew off after Prometheus. However, Prometheus then projected a hologram around Donna to make her look like him, so Green Arrow shot her in the leg. Subsequently, a shot in the leg knocks her unconscious. Also, a normal arrow pierced her super strong skin. This is stupid! Look, of course a villain has to be threatening and dangerous, but if you pile on like this, there won't be any realistic way that they'll be beaten. It's too unbelievable! Oh yeah, and Ray Palmer tries to pull his torture trick on him, but instead Prometheus has nanites that he can use to repel him and turn him into a conehead. Prometheus is finally stopped by the arrival of Jay Garrick and the Shade. Garrick, despite super speed, is stopped by Prometheus, who manages to inject him with a toxin or something, I don't know, whatever. However, he has difficulty identifying the Shade because he has every hero cataloged, but since the Shade isn't a hero, bull crap! If he's really as friggin' smart as the comic wants us to believe, he'd have a database on villains too! And so the Shade, someone that James Robinson excelled into mega awesome badass status during the Starman series, is repelled with bright lights. I think, since that's only implied. Fortunately, I get the satisfaction of seeing Prometheus get brought down by Donna Troy, who remembers that she's, you know, super strong. Donna rips off his helmet and just starts punching him. Normally, just one punch should be enough to flatten his face into goop, but apparently she gets off several punches before the Shade stops her. For some reason? Oh, he doesn't want her to go down the same dark path as him. Bull crap! The Shade helped people kill others back in Starman, but then why would James Robinson remember something he himself wrote? Anyway, he's tied up and chained down via Green Lantern's ring. Wait, why did you put his helmet back on? What the? Why would you ever put his helmet back on? That's the source of his power and intellect and skills! What is wrong with you? Oh my god, these people deserve to be killed! No one this stupid deserves to live! And for some reason, Black Canary has transformed into a Romulan. They demand Prometheus tell them his plan. He explains thusly: "My revenge on all of you, for the years you took. Instead of destroying cities, something a monkey could do if you strapped a big enough bomb to its back, my devices will encase the cities in force fields to protect them, at which point they're dispatched through time and space. But then everyone in the cities would live. Yes, and you'd all know it. But with limitless possibilities of where they'd been sent, you'd never find them." So, let me see if I've got this revenge scheme down exactly. Prometheus wanted to get revenge on the Justice League for taking away several years of his life. This plan requires him to steal bits of very advanced technology, from time machines to teleporters, so he can teleport various cities into other dimensions that they'll still be able to survive in, apparently, despite no access to air, power, the sun, or food, so that the heroes will feel bad about losing so many people, and aided by dozens of supervillains, all of whom he has blackmail material on, when really he could have just acquired normal goons that would do the same job. In order to accomplish this, he brings in a whole bunch of supervillains into one spot, and I don't know, I guess he just told them to stand there and wait, and then released word on the street that there was a supervillain meeting so some heroes could come by and deal with them. However, they needed to be Justice League members since he was going to impersonate Captain Marvel and join them by meeting up with the Atom, flying to Gotham, and then arriving at that same spot so he can then save their lives to convince them he's who he says he is, so they'll beam him up to the satellite so he can finalize his plan. I'm just saying, this is an awful lot of work and relied upon a lot of coincidences when he could have just killed their loved ones and whatnot. And he wants to get revenge against these people in particular, since he planted one of these devices inside of Star City, the home of Green Arrow, ignoring the fact that he never fought Green Arrow. The person who supposedly impersonated him did, but not him. In fact, I'd say of all the people in the room, maybe like 1% are people he actually harbors a grudge against. And probably not even that much. He's trying to get revenge against people who didn't do anything to him. But for the sake of argument, let's pretend that he can really do all of this. Except by keeping those cities alive, he leaves hope that they can be brought back! Prometheus, you could be the smartest man in the room, but considering other scientists needed to develop all of this technology to begin with, it wouldn't be too difficult to pool them all together and figure out how to bring everyone back. And if somehow only you could bring them back, do you think with the millions of lives at stake, they wouldn't hesitate to turn you into a vegetable to dig out the information they needed? So now he explains why he needed to get onto the JLA satellite. I needed a focal point above America where I could harness the sun's energy, the only power source big enough for the job. But with that focal point having enough internal fortitude to withstand the vigors of what was occurring for the duration of the process. He also says he needed the processing power of the satellite's computer systems. So yeah, it again makes even less sense that he let all these heroes live. Realizing what he could have done while he was alone, they try to shut down the computers. However, since Prometheus is powered by magical fairy dust of plot convenience, he has been downloading his computer programs into the system the whole time, which of course does not have any kind of security countermeasures for this sort of situation. But it's time to elevate the dumb level. But my goal has changed. Instead of revenge, now I want my freedom. What? You go through all the trouble of setting up this unnecessarily elaborate revenge scheme, and now you just want to be let go? Anyway, he says if he's let go, he'll tell them the locations of each teleportation device, as well as the codes to deprogram them. Green Arrow refuses after what happened to Roy, but Black Canary says they should hear him out. What? Oh, screw it. Anyway, he says that in the event of his capture, there's already a program override in his devices that will destroy all of the cities if he's not released. Oh, of course there is. I thought any monkey could plant a bomb, Prometheus. Aren't these things supposed to only teleport? Anyway, issue 6 ends with the revelation that the first city to be hit is Star City, Green Arrow's hometown. This stupid story finally starts drawing to a close in issue 7. To make matters better, the fill-in artist, Scott Clark, couldn't even finish off this one. They brought in a third artist, Ibrahim Robertson, in order to fill in some of this stuff. So now let's have 3 different art styles clashing so that the book can't have a consistent feel to it. Green Arrow and Green Lantern run off to the teleporters to try to help Star City. And it's here that we finally have the lowest common denominator. Sure, there are pages in between that I could comment on, but it's finally time to talk about the thing that pisses me off so much about this comic. Oh sure, all the plot holes, the idiotic premise, the dumb character behavior, and every one of its numerous other issues warranted it to be here on this show. But that's not enough for me to hate it like I do. Say hello to Leanne Harper, or rather, Leanne Harper's corpse. For those unaware, Leanne Harper is an established, long-time supporting character who, of course, has not appeared once in this story until now. And she was also a little girl. It is sickening to think that a child character is killed like this. A child who had no bearing on the proceedings of the story. A child whose father has just been named. A child who served no purpose in this story, but to be a shock moment for the readers. It is despicable. And don't take me to mean that a child should never, ever, ever die in a story. That's ludicrous. But this is a freaking joke. No build-up, no foreshadowing, no relevance to the events that have transpired. It's senseless and a waste of a character. It robs Roy Harper of his unique character status as a single father and rids the DC Universe of potential future stories, and don't anyone dare tell me, well, it's comic books, she'll be alive again in a year. Not everyone comes back to life in comics, especially not a non-superhero supporting character. I got into comic books thanks to a little series called The Titans, where Leanne was adorable in almost every scene she was featured in. And that is why I hate this book so much. I can't look at the books I enjoyed and loved anymore without thinking of this exploitive, badly written trash. I should end the review right this second. There's nothing else to say. However, I suppose the people who have never heard of this thing are curious about how it ends. So, how does it end? Badly! Oh, and our fill-in artist isn't all that much better than Morrow, since at least twice now he decides to show off Starfire in provocative posing. Smooth. Yeah, thanks for that after the child death. Back on the satellite, the unusually large-headed Adam admits that, you know, torturing was a bad idea, and he realizes that now. How comforting. Prometheus admits that his devices aren't working the way they're supposed to be, possibly because the different technologies aren't interfacing correctly. Let me get this straight. He can magic himself up all these tactics and weapons to counteract the Justice League, but he can't even get his stupid devices to work properly. This comic can't decide if Prometheus is a genius or an idiot. The Flashes report that the device in their city is underwater, designed to go off if the exact amount of water pressure around it isn't there. As such, they can't superspeed the device away. Prometheus, in turn, explains that each of the devices is specialized to prevent the heroes of their respective cities from getting rid of it. Now, the obvious solution is to just switch people around, but few people are acting smart in this comic. Up on the satellite, we finally have a reason for Miss Martian's earlier cameo. Well, if you can call it a reason, since she's been brought in to try to read Prometheus's mind and get the codes they need to disarm the devices. Miss Martian, in turn, staggers back in pain from some kind of mental defenses that Prometheus has. Prometheus never fails to impress. He can conveniently create something like that, but he can't escape from normal shackles. Oh, it gets better. Remember the Shade? Well, in Opal City, he tried to transport it out of the city with his darkness abilities, but apparently the device is designed to accelerate if there isn't any light. So let me see if I understand this. Prometheus said he didn't know who the Shade was, but apparently the device he had planted was specifically designed to counteract his powers. What a convenient device! Oh, and these Super Duper Maxi Extreme Ultra devices can counteract the magic of the real Captain Marvel, too. Look, there's smart villains, there's clever planning, and then there's just pulling crap out of your ass! The situation is designed so that there isn't any other possible solution than the one presented, and it's so contrived, so forced, that I'm surprised Prometheus couldn't escape Green Lantern's energy constructs by just wiggling his tongue! After all, he can stop everything else through these devices, so why not that too? And with so many lives hanging in the balance, Green Arrow pleads with the others to just let him go, even after what happened to Roy Harper, who could be considered his son, and Leanne, in turn his granddaughter. Prometheus gave us the codes. We gave him freedom. Vixen took him to the teleporter. Wait, he gave you the codes while he was still on board the satellite? Why didn't you knock him out again afterwards? Did he make you pinky swear not to? And so the story ends with Prometheus returning to his lair in another dimension. Also, he apparently transformed into the horrid artwork of Secret Defenders number 9 and 10 in this panel. However, Green Arrow is waiting for him with an arrow that goes right into his head, killing him instantly. Oh, looky, it's the super genius who created bombs so clever that they warp the laws of plausibility, but he has no way to defend his fricking lair or any way to stop an